Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today I will present about the Henry Misberg. Okay, for the biography of Henry Misberg. Henry Misberg was born in September 2, 1939. He's a management expert, author and academic. He's written a various book of management and now hold the Clearhorn Professorship of Management Studies. Henry Misberg write prolifically on the topic of management and business strategy, which more than 150 articles and 15 books to his name. His seminal book, The Rise of Strategic Planning, critiques some of the practice of strategic planning today. He believed that skills are learned through the experience and cannot simply be taught in the classroom. In an interview in the CCN, he stated, "You can teach all sort of things that can improve the practice of the management which people are manager. What you cannot do is teach management to somebody who is not a manager. You cannot teach surgery to somebody who not a surgeon." Henry Misberg,
Hello everyone, my name is Wang Yu. My magic number is 242304. I'm from the group 13. For my part, I will talk about the history Minisberg's managers roles theories. Okay, start as the doctor students. Minisberg calculate stopwatch to the recording what 5 managers will actually doing. Rather than the listening to what they see, they were doing, and letting the academic imagine what they were doing. He spent 1 week to observing to studying the activities of the 5 CEOs. The 5 were from the large consulting firms, teaching hospital, school, hair teaching companies, and consumers goods manufacturers. Minsberg has found that in the business management, the manager will replace take the time to thinking about the long term. They are to so caught up in the one thing or another, and the people that they don't have the time for the long term goals or plans. The obvious to factor avoidance time to their spend thinking about a problem just 9 minutes. Managers who want to do one thing on the regular business domains to the fielders, because he will be constantly intend repeat by the another peoples who will away need to him to do something early. So that's the Minsberg conclusion that there are 10 roles the managers can please. The 10 roles are divided into the 3 types, namely the roles in interpersonal relationship. The second is the role in information transmission. The last role is the decision making. Okay, I will continue. I will talk about the definition of the management theories. For the Minsberg's management roles theories, it have the 3 main roles. One is the interpersonal roles, information roles, and the decision-making roles. Okay, the first, what is about the interpersonal roles? Interpersonal roles are the foundation of form power that spring directly from the manager. The last information role. Information roles is about the managers are the responsibility for ensuring that the people they are working with hire enough the information to get the job done. The last is the decision-making roles. Decision-making roles is about precise information and draw the conclusion. The managers make the managers make the decision to keep the teams on the talk and or located the resource to enough the implementations of the plan. Okay, we'll continue. Next, we'll talk about what is interpersonal roles. For the interpersonal roles, is including the roles. The first is repetitive roles. As the leaders must perform some ceremonial role. The second is the leadership roles. What is the leadership roles? Is managers and employees to work together and ensure that organization goals are met through employees effectors. The last is the roles of the liaison. The roles of the working with the individual and the group with the organization and building the good relationship with external stockholders. Okay, the next I will talk about the information roles. The information roles also including the trader roles. The first is the roles of the supervisors. Continuously monitors the internals and external environments change to the all test useful information of the organization. So the contact subordinates or obtains information from the personal network and identifies protected opportunity and there to work group and organization based on the information. The second is the roles of the communicators to describe the information obtained as the supervisors to ensure that employees have the necessary information to effectively complete this work. The last is the roles of the spoken personnel. To the spoken personnel is to convey the information to the individual outside the organization so that the stockholders can understand and feel satisfied. The last, I will talk about the decision-making role. For the decision-making roles, is also had the four roles. The first, the entrepreneurs roles. It means is invest in the opportunity identified as the supervisors to take the advantage of them. The second is the roles of the interface centrally. The three is resource locators. It means it determines which project of the organization's resource are used for. For the last is negative role. What it means the negative roles? It means spend lot of the time to negotiations with employees, suppliers, customers, and another working the groups to ensure that the group to move in toward the organization's goals.
Hello everyone, my name is Hu Zhuo. My tree number is 242183. I will introduce about the application system of management server. Firstly, I will introduce about the organization configuration framework of Minsburger. Number 1, mutual adjustment, which achieves coordination by the simple process of informed communication. Number 2, direct supervision is achieved by having one person issue orders or instructions to several others whose work interrelates. Number 3, standardization of work process, which achieves coordination by specifying the work process of people carrying out interrelated tasks. Number 4, standardization of outputs, which achieves coordination by specifying the result of different work. Number 5, standardization of skills, in which different work is coordinated by virtue of the related training the workers have received. Number 6. Standardization of norms, in which it is the norms infusing the work that are controlled, usually for the entire organization, so that everyone functions according to the same set of benefits. Next, according to the organization configuration model of Winsberger, each organization can consist of 6 basic parts. Number 1 is strategic apex. Number 2 is middleline. Number 3 is operating core. Number 4 is technostructure. Number 5 is support staff. Number 6 is ideology.
Machines. Company which mass produce output use this form. Tasks are standardized and detailed in the operation procedures that allow employees to carry out their work with a minimum of training. Line of authority are formal with some power residing in the group that develop the policies and procedure that govern the company. Third is a professional bureaucracy. The professional bureaucracy is a bureaucracy which being centralized. It relies on the highly qualified professionals to carry out the work with the high degree of the independence. The organization achieves with the coordination of function by extending the skills and the qualification required to carry out the work of particular positions. The bureaucracies focus on the defining position in the term of the capabilities and making sure this match to allow the organization to function. Okay, the fourth is divisionalized forms. Large organization with a diversified product create division to handle related activities. The advantage of this divisionalized organization structure is that the division can act with a high degree and autonomy to address the particular situations, while the central part of the organization concerned on the big picture. The existence of the divisions also mean that in the inherent duplication of activities, which each division containing essential functions such as sales, human resource, and accounting. Okay, the last one is advocacy. Formal organization structures take time to adjust to change. In the industry, they are changing rapidly in the project-based company where projects are all different. Such a formal structure limit the required flexibility. The adequately adapt the whatever situation it encounters. In the characteristic include a lack of non-formal structure combined with the variety of highly skilled employees. The advocacy form teams to carry out works. Teams are self-organized with a matrix structure and allow effective vertical and horizontal sharing out of authority based on the competence and the particular situation.
Okay, for this part, I will talk about the criticism the Minisburger's management roles theories. So this part will have the two opinions. The first one is something still as an external exception in the Minisburger's theory. So which are the way with extreme colors? There is no great areas in interest black and white. It's no great area. Such as there the 10 rows is the own inseparable role. Inseparable role. So the human information and the decision making as other inseparable. So okay, next I will talk. The second opinion is the managers plays the different roles at all the level of the worst organization. But there are great difference at all the level of the enterprise and organizations of the different size. Such as the small business will spend a lot of time to dealing with external insurance. And a large business managers are need to solution is internal insurance. Such as internal insurance is about how to do exciting the results with the organization.
Now I will introduce about the conclusion. Firstly, Minsberger contribution to management thinking is based on a wide range of methods, which involve the study of all activities that managers engage in and how they conduct activities. Through his book and writings, you can notice that he firmly believes that management is about applying human skills to systems, not the other way around. Minsberger believes that the management function or process types is folklore, and the management functions such as planning, organization, leadership, and control cannot accurately describe the chaotic nature of management. He believes that the functional approach to management incorrectly conveys the feeling that managers will carefully and intentionally evaluate information before making management decisions. Minsberger rejects the classical view of management in a series of functions surrounding planning, organization, command, coordination, and control. He described the functional school of process school of management as folklore, but he couldn't accurately explain the chaos and randomness of management. Nevertheless, based on his observation of the manager's work, he proposed a new management model. The model identifies 10 roles, which describe the different tasks and activities that managers actually complete, or more than the roles of managers change constantly according to changes in situation, needs, tasks, and expectations. Therefore, the roles can be applied to any management situation, and the management can take corresponding actions by changing roles as leads to achieve organizational goals.